Shares of Wayfair, in the meantime, were up 16%, almost 17% this morning after soaring past estimates in the second quarter. Despite seeing active customers fall, the stock is up over 150% year to date. Is Wayfair a meme stock, Myles?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
it was
so that's part of it,
definitely
right?
in the memes. Like if you look at this on a 5-year, you're going to see a meme play there, let's say. And I think it's fair to call it a meme stock. I think if you're up 100% so far this year, you are officially
may
in
just be
the
a meme
basket.
stock.
Yeah.
I mean, so we just talked about them beating estimates here,
There you
but
go.
revenue was down 3.4%. Average order size down 7%. There were repeat customers. Like some of this stuff looked decent, but we're seeing a number of companies this quarter being rewarded for not being as bad. And I guess Wayfair falls into that category. There was an analyst call, I think it was last week, that said that the fundamentals in furniture do seem to be bottoming or troughing, and that things are going to get better from here. So, maybe Wayfair is going to lean into that.
Short interest in the 20s to 30s%, depending on the data you're looking at. Stock, go back a couple of years, stock was trading around $300 a share, and now it's at 80. So I think, it brings up, and I know Jared's going to talk about it in a second, but it brings up a fascinating question about where are we with that whole meme, with the retail thought, with this momentum in markets, this behavior in markets where you clearly have a lot of money moving into very specific trades, which essentially stock's down a lot that people have been shorting, but I know it's a target, as a buyer. And, as someone running fast money, it's like, I know I can get a little something out of this. And sure, you're getting your pop today in Wayfair, and, that's probably enough for a lot of people to come in, move out.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is something you and I talked about on the side the other day, that sort of anecdotally looking through our trending ticker page, there have been more and more meme type stocks cropping up. And as you pointed out, and kind of implied in the comment you just made, that's not all retail investors now. In fact, there's a lot of institutional investors who have now jumped on that to try to get that marginal benefit.
I mean, look, and to be clear, it was never only retail investors. But
that was the genesis of it. I think
absolutely.
You can reasonably argue.
And I think as we were saying too, it's like, there's so much in markets and in the economy that's like set. It's like, everyone gets paid, these dates, and then they go to their 401k sponsor and it's like, I got to buy a ton of SPY or whatever it is. So the flows in markets are pretty static ultimately overall, if you really think about it. So all these trades are made on the margins. So it took so few retail traders kind of piling in for there to be a noticeable difference. And I think those trades, and look, short squeezes have always existed. It's not like it's a new thing, but there is certainly a speed around and a flexibility with which, maybe, the kind of the new pod shop model is able to operate, and retail traders, might not be, like if you worked at a big bank for a long time and you have a personal account that's like in the tens of millions, you're probably counted as retail. Like AAI called you up, but you're not really retail. You're not dumb money. Like, what you're doing, but it's so cheap now to transact, and so many people have the ability to move, again, just enough money in some of these names that it really makes a difference. The bid's not that thick in a name like a Wayfair. It's not the S&P. So it doesn't take a ton. That's why the stock's up 150% this year. And look, you started shorting at 300. Who cares?
Yeah.
You've had to probably pay up a little bit over that. You've probably tried to cover at some point. Like there's a cost to it, but ultimately there's a lot of wiggle room on both sides of this trade. And so that's how you get volatility.